Hi there, it's Sharon Hess. Let's talk for just a minute about suffering. There are a lot of spiritual teachers that I've had conversations with that either swing the pendulum in one direction or the other. One direction is that you have to suffer because you're in human form, okay? And the other direction is that the only reason you suffer is because you aren't connecting to your God self. So I think that everything in life, that it's all about balance. And because we are a spiritual being having a human experience, right? That we will suffer some, but we don't have to, because it really is partly our choosing. Now, I know that's a little hard for people to accept. It's like, well, I didn't create that. But if you think about this, okay, the idea of suffering is actually as much a matter of perception as anything else. Because we look at things as either good or bad, then if we're stuck in the bad part and we're not experiencing the good part, then we're suffering. But that's really not true, because if you think about it, there's not just good and bad, there's and good and bad. So if you can look at the and part of it, like, and so what is this showing me? And I feel uncomfortable, and I feel confused. I feel out of sorts. I feel like I'm suffering. Well, are you really? And if you are, why? Why are you suffering? What is it that you're not looking at? Are you trying to make something that isn't? It's not reality. We'll use relationships. Relationships. We learn a lot about ourselves. So let's say we have this relationship where, and it doesn't have to be romantic. This can be a boss. It can be a friend. It can be, anything, any kind of relationship, and with another person. So let's say that you have this thought about this other person, and what they should be doing, or, well, let's not say what they should be doing. Let's say you really want a relationship with this other person for whatever reason. It's like you enjoy being around them, their energy uplifts you, you feel really good, but the other person doesn't feel the same way. And so they politely or not so politely, you know, tell you, hey, go away. I'm laughing, but nowadays people just ghost you. They don't even give you closure, right? But anyway, so let's just say this happens to you, that you have this feeling for this other person and it's not reciprocated. So you're suffering because of it. If you stop and you think about it, why are you suffering? It's because you want to control how another person feels or what the other person does. And if you can let go of that, you're not going to suffer anymore. You are the one creating it. We create our own suffering. And we're also taught that sometimes we have to suffer through it, and that may or may not be true. It depends on what you believe. And remember, it doesn't matter if it's true or not. If you believe it, it is true for you. But what I always find is the most helpful thing, if we're looking at the idea of suffering, is if you feel like you're suffering through something, ask what it's trying to show you and sit with that. Now, this doesn't mean you are not going to be happy, go lucky, joyful, la, 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 24/7. That is a part of being a human. You have to deal with emotions. You have to deal with other human beings. So, it's just a part of it. But you can make it easier and you can move through it quicker if you will look at what it is trying to show you. And then ask yourself, do I really have to suffer because of this? Sometimes it's just, you're just having a bad day, and that's okay. I have something I do if I'm having a bad day. I just say to myself, this too shall pass, and tomorrow's another day. There's all kinds of things you can tell yourself and talk yourself through. But the most important thing is to do a little inner work and say, what is this showing me? Because it's always there to show you something. And you can always find joy and peace and pleasure in the given moment. And let's go back to the person that doesn't want you in whatever way, shape, or form. And it could be rejection for a job too. I mean, I've had that in my past where I just really wanted that job and didn't get it. And I felt so, rejected. But it's not really about rejection, and it's not really about, it's not about the other person at all. It's about you, and it's about letting and allowing things to unfold the way they're supposed to. And I did a recording on faith, and like a couple of weeks ago. Maybe I'll send you a link to that. But anyway, so the whole thing is about having faith that the universe, God, universe, higher power, creator, whatever you call it, absolutely knows better than you do how things are supposed to unfold in the highest, best good of all. In the highest good of all. So next time you're suffering, just stop for a few minutes and ask yourself, do I need to be suffering? And, in reality, you really don't. So that's all I have to say about that right now. If you would like a conversation with me, just reach out. And you can find the link down below, how to find me. And also, I just want you to go out and have a fabulous life just because you can.